Over the last year, I've worked hard to get over my addiction. NFL hot takes. I've been trying new things to clear my mind. Yoga, painting, meditation have all been super helpful. I haven't even considered getting back into my bakery. No, I'm happy. I don't need to cook up a piping hot, steaming take about the NFL. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I need to bake. Welcome back to the Hot Takery. I am your head chef, Collery, and joining me today are two young pastry prodigies who are going to sink into one of my scalding takes to see if they want to cash in or head straight to the trash bin. It's Anneke, Wagner, and Owen, Klein. I just can't wait anymore. Let's fire up the oven. All right, folks, let's talk about the NFC to start off today. The NFC as a conference has ran through one place for the last 5 or so years, and that's San Francisco. This team has been consistently dominant in the regular season, but hasn't been able to put it together in the big games when it really, really counts and win a Super Bowl. So to start off my takeaway for this year, we're going to toss it to you, Anneke. I personally believe that this current core of 49ers players will never be able to win the Super Bowl. What do you think?
Nolan, I think that your take is like my favorite ice cream flavor. It's half-baked. Shout out Ben and Jerry's.
Fantastic stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this team has all of the key components when they're healthy that should be a Super Bowl caliber team. I mean, always have a top-rated defense. They have Fred Warner, who is probably the best linebacker in the league.
Arguably so.
They have a great offense every year. I mean, Kittle is a top tight end. Christian McCaffrey was the best running back in the league.
When healthy, yeah, sure.
When healthy, but he's not always healthy. And that's another key component is they're plagued with injuries. And I mean, but also Brock Purdy has really proven himself to be their franchise guy. He will be their franchise guy. It's just, they have all of those key components and they always get close. But I think it comes down to Kyle Shanahan, who consistently chokes in the big games. I mean, he's won 2 NFC championships with the 49ers as their head coach, but he has not been able to, his team has not been able to perform at the biggest stage.
Yeah,
I think it goes to the coaching. I think the core player group, when healthy, they have all of the talent. And I think that Brock Purdy will be a guy that I think he can win a Super Bowl. That might be a hot take in itself.
Maybe. That's what the takery is for. So, Owen, what do you think about it?
I still think the 49ers have a good chance to win the Super Bowl with this core. And I think it extends further without Brock Purdy. He's due for a big payday maybe after this season, since his rookie contract will expire after next season.
Yep.
But if you're John Lynch, the GM of the San Francisco 49ers, I think you have to look elsewhere for a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan, sure, he has the choking label, but he's also proven to be a great developer of quarterbacks.
This is true.
You saw what he's done with Nick Mullins. You saw what he's done with Jimmy Garoppolo once he came to San Francisco. And you've seen what he's done with Brock Purdy. And and after 2025, you can go to the market, pick up a veteran quarterback, and draft a developmental guy in the third day of the draft, kind of like a Dak Prescott, if you will.
Sure, 100%.
So it's going to be tough to retain pretty much everyone, but I still think San Francisco has set themselves up for success, and it's on Shanahan to win the big game and prove that he can get past that choking label, which began with 28-3.
Duh. I'm sorry, Falcons fans. That's a bit of a dagger in the heart. Interesting to see about that veteran quarterback. As we've seen, there are offers like that, such as what Russell Wilson got with the Steelers, being paid $1 million by a team that's currently 6-2. While we're moving on, let's stay in the AFC North for our next take. Not the Steelers, not the Ravens, but first of all, I want to touch on Lamar Jackson, who has been absolutely fantastic. The runaway MVP favorite, in my opinion, this far in the season. But that's not the quarterback I want to talk about today. Joe Burr, Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, whatever you want to call him. I've been a big Joe Burrow fan for a long time, but I've always just wanted to see him take that next step to stop being in that tier 2 of quarterbacks and really get into that top echelon of guys, and he's done it. He is playing fantastic football. For my next take, you know how good of football he's playing? He's playing better football than the NFL's golden boy, Patrick Mahomes. Take number 2 for you, and Owen, I'm going to hear your opinions on this first. Joe Burrow, as of today, is a better quarterback in this season than Patrick Mahomes.
At this point, I have to agree with you on this one, but mostly because Burrow has had to carry the load of the Cincinnati Bengals. Have you ever seen that quote-unquote defense?
Defense is a rough word for what they put out there.
I mean, that so-called unit has given up more than 31 points per game in each of the Bengals' losses compared to 17 in their victories. Burrow has had to carry the load of the Bengals in these situations, and he's proven to do so, considering that he led the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Yeah. But in this case, Patrick Mahomes, even though he's not at his best, he's had the luxury of just random performers popping up at pretty much any moment in the season, talking about Kareem Hunt, Juju Smith-Schuster. And just imagine what he'll be able to do once he and DeAndre Hopkins develop chemistry for the playoffs.
Totally agree with you. Yeah, the Chiefs, they always have a guy. It feels like no matter what day it's going to be, any given Sunday, tonight, Monday, they're playing a game, someone's going to step up. So, Anneke, what are your thoughts on Joe Burrow this season?
I mean, Nolan, you absolutely cooked with this one. Guy Fieri, Gordon Ramsay, they have nothing on Nolan Collery.
Stop it.
I mean, yeah, Joe Burrow, he's having an MVP caliber season, but unlucky for him, Lamar Jackson exists. He has a 76.3 quarterback rating at the moment, second in the NFL. He is a 20-4 touchdown to interception ratio. He's playing fantastic, out of his mind. And like Owen said, the Bengals would be so way higher up there if not for their defense. Mahomes, on the other hand, he's not looking very Mahomey. He has an 8-9 touchdown to interception ratio. This is unlike the Mahomes we've seen in recent years. This is not the Mahomes that gets you a three-peat. Joe Burrow over Mahomes today, as of right now.
I'm glad to hear you guys agree because toss to a softball. Listen, here's the thing about baking. When baking, you need to save your hottest stuff, your best stuff for the end. That's what great bakers do. And I'm a great baker. Let's keep talking about quarterbacks, specifically this year's rookie class. A lot of talent coming out of this year. Jaden Daniels, not only is he, in my opinion, once again, the runaway rookie of the year favorite, Caleb Williams has played some fantastic football. Bo Nix is running a playoff caliber team in Denver somehow. But that guy in New England, I can't get him out of my mind. My hottest take, when it's all said and done, the best quarterback from the 2024 class is going to be Drake May. Anneke, what do you think?
Nolan, I don't know if you cooked with this one. It might be a little burnt. I don't know. Because New England, I don't know if Jared Mayo will be able to develop Drake May into the player that he should become. I mean, I know it's different leadership, but we saw what happened with Mac Jones.
Sure.
I know it's not going to be Caleb Williams because when have the Bears developed a successful quarterback?
Never. I can tell you that comfortably.
I really like Jaden Daniels. And yes, it all does come down to if he can stay healthy. But if he does, I really think he will be the most successful. He reminds me of a Lamar Jackson type of player.
Sure.
And I think that he could be the next Lamar Jackson. The DMV, that's a scary place.
Yeah. Owen, what are your thoughts?
Let me just add a little extra spice to this dish.
That's what I like to hear
right now. I'll say that the quarterback that will most succeed from this class is the one that's not even playing right now. As brutal as J.J. McCarthy's season-ending injury in the preseason was, it may be the best for his development. You've seen what the Vikings have done with Sam Darnold. They have an excellent coaching staff, a great defense, a great offensive line, and the best wide receiver in the game. But if you're the Vikings, I say you let Darnold go in the offseason and let another team bank on him performing up to that level, which I don't think he will. Bo Nix, who knows if he can sustain this? Drake May, he's put in the worst situation of these quarterbacks. New England has their work cut out for them drafting after Bill Belichick's horrible tenure as GM.
I'd say horrible might even be an understatement.
And Jaden Daniels, he has this free running play style when injuries may catch up to him.
Right.
And Caleb Williams, Anneke, you mentioned that Chicago's the factory of doom for quarterbacks. It may be crazy to say this, but J.J. McCarthy will have the most success in the NFL of the 2024 quarterback draft class, according to me.
I'm just glad that you brought your hottest stuff. Let me tell you something. It feels good to bake again. but all good things must come to an end. As the oven cools down, I'd like to thank Anneke, Wagner, and Owen Klein for stepping into my little shop. I'd like to thank you for swinging by the Hot Takery on Penn State Sports Night. My name is Head Chef Nolan Collery, and always remember to keep your baked goods hot, but your takes even hotter.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night. We hope you liked that segment.
And we're sure there's other Penn State Sports Night segments that you are going to love as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
And check us out on social media for updates and behind the scenes clips and pics. Follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.